Hey everyone, thanks for checking in. In early 2020, Federal Ammunition announced the PUNCH product line, multiple calibers, and for 9mm, it's 124 grain standard pressure or standard velocity. If you're looking at a PUNCH cartridge next to the Federal HST, they look absolutely identical. So what's going on with that? Why is this a different product line? HST, I'm a big fan of it, as is law enforcement. Very widely adopted in the law enforcement community, but Federal has made it very clear that the PUNCH is not designed or engineered to meet the same parameters or protocols of HST. HST, law enforcement, meets the FBI protocol specs for penetration. The PUNCH, truly a consumer product, and because of that, it lowers the cost, makes it very competitive versus not just the HST, but competing brands as well. Federal's concept for PUNCH was that most people outside of law enforcement are not seeking out barrier-penetrating ammo, so they focused on a product that needs to provide adequate penetration and expansion for only the bare gel and heavy clothing protocols. As opposed to building PUNCH from the ground up, specs from Federal's law enforcement products such as the HST and HydroShock D provided the base concept for the design and expansion profile. My understanding of Federal's talking points is that the lead core is softer than products in the law enforcement lineup. Advertised velocity is 1,150 feet per second from a 4-inch barrel. It's probably not a coincidence that Federal's training ammo pictured here also shares the same velocity and felt recoil. Pricing will be noticeably lower than Federal's premium law enforcement lineup. For this review, I ordered direct from the Federal website and paid $22 per box of 20 rounds. In this series of photos, I'm illustrating some of the visual similarities between the 124 grain Federal HST and 124 grain PUNCH. The cartridges are the same length and the bullets from this perspective appear identical, including depth and diameter of the hollow point cavities. Prior to checking the PUNCH velocities, I wanted to make sure the chronograph was working well, so checked 3 different loads. The 2 full metal jacket loads are a bit low, but the HST was looking really good, so I proceeded with the PUNCH velocity check. Relative to the advertised velocity of 1,150 feet per second from a 4-inch barrel, we're looking really good in this group. The average is just a bit higher than advertised, so it's encouraging to see truth in velocity. I also ran 5 rounds through a Glock 26 3.5-inch barrel. High was 1135, low of 1116, and the average was 1124. Throughout all the years of doing this, I've used a variety of resources for the actual test component of these reviews. This is the first time I have raw meat on the table. This is a pack I put together of pork butts, which includes bone, and also ribs. The first layer of ribs is about 3.5, 4 inches back. There's another layer here toward the rear of the pack, which is about 18 inches in length. It weighs approximately 40 pounds. It is wrapped up here, but we are getting some condensation since I brought it outdoors. To be expected. There is a thin layer of cellophane over the front so I can keep this heavy clothing protocol dry. 4 layers there. We're going to try some shots with the Glock 19 from 10 feet. I'm hoping to get at least 5 in here and not keep those so much in close proximity. Let's see what we get. "90 seconds after that quick overview of the meat pack, the rain started falling, so I had to make a quick cover. I like where the shots are. I think we have pretty good placement. Let's see what it looks like behind it. Not much going on, just some holes, and 2 of those you don't even really see the point of entry. This is the front over to the right of the screen, and this is a shot that's on the far left side. That blew pretty much through that first layer of pork butt, and we'll see how much further it went. By the way, that one, the ribs were not all the way over, so that's going to have an asterisk by it. That one did not hit the ribs at all. This is the front. This is the impact that was on the far left. When you peel this back, this is synonymous with what I would see in the sim test when I was using that for a number of years, and also wet pack for that matter. There's just so much more disruption in that first 4 to 5 inches of this pass-through. I'll tell you, this has taken quite a bit of time. This is the layer of ribs and the exits on those 4 that did hit that layer. All 4 did hit ribs, and the bones have been shattered. Recovered the first bullet. This is in the first layer of pork butt behind that layer of ribs. The other three that hit this section made it through, but this one is firmly embedded in some bone. I'm going to give that 8 inches of penetration. Here is the second one. It was not stopped by bone. It just ran out of gas. It is at 10.5 inches. Number 3 reversed itself, possibly when it hit bone, and this is at 11 inches. Number 4 hit bone at 12.5 inches and then traveled downward about 3 inches. And here is number 5. It is at 17 inches, just ran out of gas, almost made it out of the meat pack. This is the one that did not hit the first pack of ribs because it wasn't in the path. Let's keep in mind that the 8, 11, and 12.5 inch penetrations all stopped at bone. Due to this element, the average fell short of the 12-inch FBI minimum standard, but I do wonder about the effect of using boneless meat segments between the rib layers. Expansion is consistent and in my mind wasn't a factor regarding the differences with penetration. Weight retention is excellent and zero evidence of jacket separation. I did find bits of fragmented lead during the discovery exercise, but these numbers are strong. Everything about Punch seems to be connected more to the HST design than the deep. We do know the lead core is softer, but there could be other elements that are apparent only to the ammo engineers. Velocity is on par with advertised. It's low flash, moderate recoil, consistent expansion, and excellent weight retention. Would I carry it? I would consider, but only if these law enforcement options are no longer available, as my personal preference is for over-engineered ammo. Punch is built around the proven HST pedigree, but for limited scenarios. For some people, this could be an option for those scenarios and circumstances we all strive to avoid.